Today, I'm going to talk about effective communication and engagement for a collaborative MTSS process. What does MTSS look like in Georgia? And I'm only one person, and we have a very small team, so we created these talking points or pitch that everyone on our team can easily communicate, everyone in our division and outside of our divisions, and even schools and districts in our cohort. So we really focus on everyone understanding what are the 5 essential components of Georgia's MTSS, driving home that it's data-driven. It includes a team approach. It takes all of us. It supports all students in learning and behavior. And it's essentially just considered best practice for teaching and learning. And so that's something that we incorporate in all of our trainings, and it's just like our pitch. It's really important to stress that Georgia aligned its model with the national model, but we added infrastructure because what we learned in the past when we were implementing other initiatives like RTI is that they were not implemented as they were intended. So in Georgia, we really wanted to drive home that we're focusing a lot on the essential components of infrastructure like leadership, effective teaming, professional learning, and family and community engagement. Today, I'll just talk a little about some of our practices that we've utilized to collaborate with other districts and schools and cross our divisions, communicating across platforms, and how we use data to guide our communications and create feedback loops. When I started, I just wanted to find a common ground that would engage people or grab their attention, which we don't have a lot of time to do in this day and age. So I immediately started focusing on the reason we were all here, and that is to help improve student outcomes. We all want our babies to be successful, so that's our why. We initially launched our communication with student-driven video series, and that is why the student voice is so crucial to communicating what this work looks like in Georgia. On the screen there, you see Corey and Kennedy. They're cute, but they also are very smart and have a lot of great information to share. They talk about the top 5 things that people need to know about Georgia's MTSS. So this is one of our most popular videos. It's only 2.5 minutes long. I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel or our website and check it out. It just really grabbed people's attention and showed why this work is so important. Some of the other student-driven videos that we have focuses on the frequently asked questions that no matter how many trainings, no matter how many times we have been inside our districts and schools, we still continue to get these questions today. For example, what's the difference between MTSS and RTI, or what does it look like in a secondary setting? So we're really focusing on having the students tell this story to explain, to grab their attention, because sometimes we tell them over and over again, but they still don't listen. So we also developed QR codes to make it easy. When we go inside districts and schools, we post these things for people to easily connect with us and spread our message. So like I said, I'm one person and our team is very small, so we take advantage, and there's power in partnerships. We work really hard to strengthen relationships in and outside our division and school and districts. I heard many of you speaking about you really don't have the time to dedicate to communications, and most people don't. That's a common problem. So what I do is I offer my services or join other people's teams. For example, the math team just launched the Georgia Numeracy Project, and they don't have a communications person. So I said, hey, can I join with you to help you launch your project? Maybe we'll do some promotional videos. And the only thing that I ask in return is that you show how MTSS is embedded in making sure that all students are mathematically literate. It's a win-win situation. We are partnering with them to highlight their work, but they're also promoting our work, and it shows how our work is aligned and we're all working towards the same goal. Here's another example. We work with Parent to Parent of Georgia. If you're not familiar with that organization, they work with families and individuals impacted by disabilities or other healthcare needs. And so this is their website. And when you go to their website, they have Pathway to Student Success. And it's all of what is MTSS in Georgia. They've taken our materials, they've shared them, they have a link to our website and each of our essential components. And this group, their parent liaisons are talking to parents and families. They're in districts and schools all across the state of Georgia. So we also held a training just for their team so that when they're going into the schools and districts, not only can they share the information, but they can articulate what is Georgia's MTSS, they can answer questions. And so you can kind of see we're building this army of communicators. In addition to using other partners' websites, we also have created our own platforms. Our website, if you haven't been there, is gadoe.org/MTSS. We also have a Twitter account, YouTube channel, and 2 newsletters that we've developed to create feedback loops with our stakeholders. So Georgia's Tears Connection, that's focused on updates and information about Georgia's MTSS, and also teacher tools, because we want to make sure this work is getting directly into the teacher's hands in the classroom. So when we created those platforms, we wanted to do it in a strategic way, and we used data to drive our communications and determine our path. Here is a printout. We just used Google Analytics to look at our audience overview. So when we created our website, we wanted to know, were we providing good content? Were people using our content? Were they coming back for more, to gauge our communication? So on average, we have about 2,000 visitors each month. About 1,200 of those are new users. And this gave us a gauge that we are on the right path, because 60% of our users are new. So that tells us that our message is spreading around the state. 40% are return visitors. So that tells us that we have good content. And then we want to ensure that our message is being spread statewide around the state of Georgia. So if you look to the right, all those blue dots are where all our visitors are from around the state. So that tells us that our message is getting around and spreading. And most of our users are from the metro Atlanta area, but that's the most populated area in Georgia. So that makes sense. Our initial goal was to retain about 30% of our audience. So you can see we have exceeded that goal. And now we're in the process of setting new goals. Even for goals for our newsletter, it was to try to gain an average of about 100 new subscribers a month, things like that. But we have exceeded all of that to the point where we had to spend money or invest in a platform where we could maintain our increased capacity for our subscribers and readers. This is another map. This shows us that not only in Georgia, but there are a lot of eyes on our work outside of Georgia. This covers about all of our visitors from just about every state in the U.S., and it shows that they're also sharing our work, so we're pretty proud about that as well. We also wanted to dig a little bit deeper to ensure we were meeting the needs of our average viewer. In this, we learned that the average visitor is between the age of 35 and 44. So as we were researching different social media platforms to launch, because social media can be so time consuming, we wanted to make sure that we were meeting the needs of our audience. And we know that according to the Pew Research Center, the average Twitter user is about 40. So we decided to start there. And then we also subscribe to YouTube, because that is the fastest growing video platform that there is, and it's free. So why not take advantage of it? I talked about our newsletters earlier. So our Georgia Tier Connection, we needed to have a platform to communicate our message, communicate updates, news and information, and also highlight the exemplars, highlight the good work that's being done in Georgia. So right now, we launched this in November of 2018, and to this day, we average about 85 to 100 new visitors a month. Our initial target was between 50 and 75, and so we're just above that. Teacher Tools we launched in January of 2019, and that newsletter has really exceeded our expectations. We discovered that there really was no feedback loop that was created for talking directly to teachers, so this was created just for them. In both of these newsletters, there's a link for them to talk directly to us. So if they have certain questions about MTSS in the secondary setting, or if teachers want to know more about high leverage practices, they just can email us and contact us directly through these newsletters, and we try to answer them immediately, like the next month in the following newsletter, to make sure that we're meeting their needs and we're building trust and providing them with good content. In addition to our student-driven series, we also have what we call district leaders and school leaders testimonials, and this has also been really popular. So oftentimes we have districts who may not be implementing MTSS or just certain parts of it, but they want to know, what are we doing? And so it's really good when they can hear from other school district leaders who are doing this work. This video that you're looking at here is just one example of a leader talking about how MTSS impacts gifted students, and this has really grown our audience and giving us new subscribers, new followers, and people just interested in the cohort. Another example, if you go to our Twitter, you can hear other testimonials and videos from people who have participated and interacted, whether receiving coaching or our new resources and tools. They're talking about it and providing us real-time feedback. What we're really trying to do in Georgia is just build a network of MTSS professionals. So these QR codes, we have these posted all around at our trainings and when we're in districts and schools. And we use that group as surveys to tell us where should our trainings be? What content do you need? And they respond to us almost immediately. So we really appreciate that. And that's helped drive communications as well. So these are our websites. We tried to create a lot of materials just to make it really reader friendly. Our fact sheets about our essential components and our framework, all of the professional learning units when our coaches go out to schools and districts and deliver the content to our cohorts. We want to make sure everyone has access to that material. Our training webinars, you can subscribe to our newsletters and really just join the fun and register for our upcoming events.